Beneil Dariush says that he's not afraid of Charles Oliveira's grappling, and in my opinion, rightfully so. If you're going to go in there with someone, you cannot be afraid of any part of their game. You've already lost half the battle if that's the case. I'll give you an example. When Charles Oliveira fought Islam Makhachev, Makhachev rocked him and he dropped him. Now, had that been Dustin Poirier or Justin Gaethje, they would have stood there and allowed him to get back up. Why? Because they're afraid of his grappling. However, what did Islam Makhachev do, guys? He followed him up right down to the ground, passed his guard, got the head and arm choke, and choked him out, submitted him, okay? Why? Because he had no fear of his game at all. He said, I can grapple with this guy. And he was rewarded for taking the risk of going into Charles Oliveira's world, so to speak, right? That's his world, the grappling. So, my point in saying that is you cannot be afraid of anyone if you're going to be in a sport like this. And, that goes for life in general, man. If you're going to go play baseball, you can't be afraid of anyone's fastball. You can't be afraid of their curveball. If you're going to go talk to a woman, you know what I'm saying? You can't be afraid of rejection. That goes with everything in life. If you're going to put in for a job application or for a promotion, you can't be afraid of being told no. You cannot be afraid of possible success. And what do I mean by that? I mean, when Dustin Poirier drops Charles Oliveira and he's standing over him and he's looking at him and he decides not to go into his guard, he's afraid of possible success. When I say that, I mean, yeah, it's possible that he loses, right? It's possible he goes in there and he gets armbarred or triangled or swept or whatever, right? Sure. But it's also possible that he lands a few extra punches, his head's hitting the back of the mat, and then all of a sudden Charles goes out. That's it. It's all over, right? And Dustin Poirier gets his hand raised. But he was nervous of the grappling. He didn't follow up, so he allowed that fear, that hesitancy or hesitance, leave it in the comments, that hesitance to stifle him, right? And he wasn't able to get the job done. And because Beneil Dariush is not afraid, Beneil Dariush has a good chance of winning this fight. I think Beneil Dariush is very well-rounded. I think Beneil Dariush gets the job done. I'm going to go with Beneil Dariush. I believe in Beneil Dariush. Would I be surprised if Charles Oliveira wins? No. But I'm going to go with Beneil Dariush. I just think he's riding a lot of momentum, whereas Charles is coming off of that loss. So, and the injuries too. With all of that said, let me know what you think in the comments. Agree, disagree, doesn't matter. Join the discussion.